dried really funny today. I've got these weird humps the top of my head. Oh well. Happy Saturday, flosstube. Hello, crafty friends. How's everybody doing today? Welcome back. My name is Caroline. This is a making video all about crafting, mostly cross stitch, but today I've got a lot of knitting to share with you as well. It is the end of week 1 of our sampler September, and I have been storing it up. I've been storing up everything this week to share with you. I have a lot. Let's just turn you around a little bit there. It's that's a bit better angle, I think. The weather is very gray, very rainy. It is the perfect indoor day for those of you who are like me, who like a good indoor day. We're never bored, are we? I'm gonna jump right into the crafting today. Life has been a little bit busier this past week than expected, and so this is the first chance I've had to sit down and do a video for Sampler September, but I've been saving everything up. So I've got some really special things to share with you today. I received 2 things in the mail that I'm going to share with you first. The first one was a completely, just a complete surprise birthday present sent to me from Desiree. Wait until you see this. She stitched it for me for my birthday, and when I opened it, I couldn't believe it because this design has been on my mind. I am recording here in London, Ontario, Canada. I am a Canadian, and look what Desiree stitched for me. Isn't that fantastic? Now, if memory serves, yes, and she's got the information on the back here. This is, of course, the Canadian flag, and the designer is Elizabeth Aaron. And she says it's 25 count white and a silk thread. Look at that. Isn't that fantastic? Desiree, your stitching is beautiful. I love this so much. And it came in the frame and everything. It is beautifully finished. It is just the most wonderful gift. This was sent to me for my birthday. Desiree, thank you. I will treasure this. I love it. So I am going to find a home for it here behind me on my wall, so that it's here with me all the time. I love it. Just love it. Now the other thing I was sent, and this was so much fun. I participated in, I just want to make sure that's safe. It's not going to fall off. I have a lot of stuff in front of me and I don't want it to fall off the table. I participated in a Canada-wide swap, smalls exchange, Canada Swaps, that was hosted by Karen of the Stitching Owl, as well as Michelle and Cheryl of the 2 Bay Stitchers. They are from Prince Edward Island, and Karen is here, just like me, from London, Ontario. And so together, they hosted a smalls exchange that was for Canadians. And so you were matched with a fellow Canadian stitcher and encouraged to stitch your small and finish it and then have it in the mail by Labor Day weekend, which has just passed. And you may remember, I stitched and finished one of the 4 fancy tiles by my friend Ellen, Maximum Cross Stitch, and it was the bird. It was the fancy bird, and I finished it into a pillow. And I actually finished it either the Monday or the Tuesday of that week. And I'm gonna put a photo in here of my finish because I'm super proud of it, and I'm certain the recipient has received it by now. I haven't heard yet, but I'm pretty sure I am pretty sure I'm not spoiling any surprises. I'm gonna post a photo here because ring the bell, ding, ding, ding. I actually did a pillow finish. I framed the outside of the piece with fabric, a couple of borders, and then, you know, who was I just watching? Somebody was just somebody was just talking about a pillow finish and how they wish they had done the trick where you have a hole in the back of the fabric and then you cover it with a patch afterwards. And I was wishing that I had done that, because I left myself the, you know, the little 2-inch opening at, it was less than 2 inches opening at the bottom. I stuffed it, and then, you know, trying to sew that opening closed when it's so stuffed is tricky. It's really tricky. And so definitely next time, the next time I attempt a pillow finish, I'm gonna go the route of snipping a little hole in the back and then covering it with a little patch. I think that's what I'll do. So yeah, so I finished mine and I sent it off in the mail, and I hope that the recipient loved it. And then a few days ago, I received mine in the mail. And it turns out that my swap, the person who got my name was Deborah. Deborah N. I'll tell you her last initial. And Deborah N, I recognize your name very well. And so I was thrilled to receive a small from someone who I felt I knew. So first of all, Deborah sent me a beautiful card with a lovely note. And are you ready for this? Look at this. Now this one's kind of special to me. I love this. This is a design from Darling and Whimsy. It's the Quirky Quaker lobster, and it's the what is it? It's just a lobster, Quirky Quaker, from Deanna, Darling and Whimsy, and it's Brin & Needle floss and fabric. I love that. I love that. Now she's actually, I might be wrong about the floss. The fabric is Brin & Needle, called Tea Stain, and then the floss is Where Ya Long Stood Who Knit Ya. I think that's also Brin & Needle floss. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure. I love it. I love it. Love it. And Deborah, your finishing is beautiful. See the back? Now she was clever and she put a little tag on the back with her initials and the year. I don't think I put the year on mine, which was, in hindsight, I should have put the year on mine. And I should have put my initials somewhere on it as well, and I didn't do that. So live and learn for next time. So Deborah, thank you so much. I love it. I actually have a cork board here in my sewing area that has a growing collection of smalls and gifts that I've been given, and it's kind of a little special place because it's here at work with me, and I get to, you know, every time I see it, I think it's just happy making, right? So I'm gonna put it there. I love it. Deborah, thank you so much. She also included 3 skeins of floss, and these are 3 of my favorite. I love this color combination. Pink, a sort of sand color, and a really vibrant green. So Deborah, thank you very much. I am absolutely going to participate in this swap again. It was really fun. It was really fun. And it pushed me out of my box, my comfort zone a little bit for the finishing, to do something a little bit different, and I really enjoyed that. So I'm already starting to think about what I might do next time, and I think I might attempt, I've been talking about doing a biscornu. I have those biscornus from Cosford Rise Stitchery that I want to make. Now, you are supposed to pick a Canadian designer, but I know Tiny Modernist has some biscornus, and Ellen has some designs that would work as biscornus, and I know there's lots of options out there. So I'm gonna have fun just looking around, but I think I'm gonna challenge myself for the next one. Now, they're only gonna do it twice a year. So the Canada Swaps is gonna happen twice a year. So for more information, please follow Two Bay Stitchers and Karen the Stitching Owl to find out when the next one's going to happen, when it's gonna take place. But I'm already starting to think about what I'm gonna make. So I love that. I have an FFO, and an HO, a hoe, to share with you, because guess what? I finished another sock. I know. Ta-da! Now this one has been close to being finished for a while now. This is another sock. The other sock that I finished wasn't originally intended for my daughter. However, it turned out they're going to be for her because they're a little bit too small for me. These ones I cast on with the intention of giving them to Sarah. So I finally finished the first one. This is a yarn by Woolen Boon called Thistle. Sock base, it's your typical, I think it's an 85, 75-25 merino. It's not, no cashmere in this one. Merino nylon. And I just did a plain vanilla sock. One of my favorite kind of socks to make. I just love plain socks. I use my friend Louise Wildflower Wool's super simple sock pattern. And if you are interested in learning how to make socks, I do have sock tutorials. I do have knitting tutorials on this channel. You can find the playlist, the entire Learn to Knit playlist in the playlist section. And actually, the last video I did, I made the comment about how, you know, those videos are actually getting pretty old, and I wasn't all that, you know, I don't really love them anymore because I think they're a little dated. The music always struck me as being a little too loud at the beginning, but then my friend Lisa, who is Forest City Stitching, left me a comment, and that she said that she really liked those videos, and actually she's just finishing up her second sock of her first pair, and that, you know, she learned how to knit and learned how to knit socks from those videos. So, you know, tick tick, job done. That was the whole purpose of them. They were just meant to share something. They weren't meant to be, you know, anything. I don't know what I'm trying to say there, but I guess that I'm just, if anybody found them useful or finds them useful, then I'm happy. So I wanted to show you, because I keep this here, and I've shared this before. But the very first sock that I ever made, and my friend Louise, who is an actual knitting instructor, taught me how to make, how to knit socks. And it's her pattern that I use in my videos. And my first sock, I saved it because it was so wrong, but it looks like a sock. But it is so huge. It's so huge. And the funny thing is that it never really struck me that it was anything other than a really great sock until I started to knit the second one, which looked absolutely tiny. And I thought, what is wrong? And then I realized that this one was just way too big. And that if I actually wore this around, it would probably end up just flopping around my toes most of the time. So anyways, I ripped out the second sock and just balled it up, because at that point I was a little bit irritated with myself that I wasn't going to actually have a pair of socks. And but I kept this as a fun reminder that with practice things improve. So now I'm pretty chuffed with my ability to actually make socks. So yeah, I love that. So I did finish that. I finished that sock, done. And I picked up my framing for Cranberry Manor. So this was an FO, the last video I did, and now it's an FFO because it's fully framed. And look at that. I could not love this more. It turned out so sweet. It's so bright and happy. I love it. So this is Pansy Patch Quilts and Stitchery Summer Garden at Cranberry Manor, and I used a 28 count Roxy Flosco biscuit fabric, and I used a Roxy Flosco floss conversion that was put together by Hannah. And around here at the Evertote workshop, we call her Floss Boss Hannah. And yes, it's Saturday, and yes, I'm at work. I was cutting and serging fabric for the new fabric club that we've just put out recently. So that's what I was doing here today. So it's at the end of my work day, and because I have all of my stuff here that I've been saving up to share with you, I just thought it would be much quicker to just record it here instead of going home and doing it there. Though I'm not gonna fib, Sarah's at home, so there won't be a lot of editing done to this video so that I can get my things together and get home. But I didn't want to let another couple of days go by before sharing everything with you, because the pile tends to grow, right? And I also, I don't know how to explain it. I feel like I can't move it until I've shared it with you. Does that make sense? Now that I've shared and shown and shared this, I can tuck it away. I don't know, doesn't make sense, but there you go. I love it. I had I use a business called Chops for my framing. The owner's name is Craig, and I find that Craig seems to know what I like now. I've brought my things to him enough now that I don't even pick. I just hand him my things and I say, I show me what you think you would like. And invariably he chooses something I probably like even more than something I would have picked. It's like he's good at his job or something. I just love it. The golden tones in it just kind of bring out the, yeah, I just love it. No glass, just simple. Simple, simple, simple. I love it. Yeah. That was such a fun stitch. So I looked it up because I felt like I'd stitched that really fast, and it turns out that I had. So I've been keeping track of my starts and finishes because my goal was to have 50 for 50 this year, but I was including starts and finishes. So I think if I do the math, I am at 28 starts and $16 finishes. So we're getting up there. We're getting up there. 16 finishes. Now I do count a single sock as a finish. That's a finish. That counts. That is one. So yeah. So see, look at how organized I am this year. Trust me, no one is more surprised than I am. So I started Cranberry Manor at the end of June, on the 30th of June, and I finished it at the end of August. That's, for me, that's really fast. That's super fast. Yeah, so pretty pleased with that. That's pretty fast. Yeah, I just, for some reason, it just struck a chord. Everything about it, the colors were great. I loved the 28 count linen. It was easy, it was bright, it was punchy with color. The motifs were small and they were kind of all over the place, which is, yeah, it was just a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. So one finished sock and one framed piece. The sock that I had finished the last time that I shared with you, this was that super old project that I found hanging around in a project bag. I don't have it on, clearly I don't have it in a sock blocker, but you can tell it looks like a sock, right? So guess what? I cast on the second one. So I went to a wonderful knitting get together with some old friends who I haven't spent a lot of time with over the last couple of years, and I actually saw them twice in 1 week at the end of August because they all came out to the movie night that I hosted, which was so fun. It was so fun. It was so fun. So I rented out a local small indie movie theater here in London, and I sold tickets to come and watch Notting Hill, and we didn't turn the lights all the way off, so there was enough light. There was enough light for some people to do their crafting without additional lighting. But I had a neck light, and a couple other people had neck lights as well, and you know, the ones you just wear around your neck so you can turn them on. And Crafty Kim and her sister came, and Trina came all the way from Hamilton, and Kim had great lighting. She had a clip-on light set up to her frame, and it was just really, it was a really fun, so it was like the most expensive movie I've ever gone to, because I of course didn't sell enough tickets to even break even. And you know what, I didn't even care. I'm totally doing it again. I'm totally doing it again. So heads up, in a couple of months I'm gonna do a matinee on a Saturday. It was just so fun, like the whole atmosphere in the theater, everybody there, it just felt like we were one gigantic group, even though, I don't know, if I had to guess, there were maybe 30 of us, 30, 35, maybe, hard to say. And everybody was there, like all spread out all throughout the theater. And because, you know, you all feel like you're there together, and it was Notting Hill, so we'd all seen the movie before. You all laugh at the same places, and you feel like you're all laughing together. A couple people dropped knitting needles, and so you'd hear it hit the ground and everybody would groan because we knew what it was. And you know, I'd look over and I saw Kim with her stitching all lit up, and she's enjoying the movie with her sister, and her sister and her friend, and you know, it was wonderful. 10 out of 10. I'm excited to do it again. And yeah, it was really a fun night. So I saw my friends there. My local knit group friends were there, and Tracy and my old stitch group friend as well. A couple of those ladies came. Joanne, Martha, Tracy, they came as well. And just, you know, it was just so fun. It was so fun. So I saw my knit friends, and then that Saturday we got together again at a local park, and we had lawn chairs, and we sat out and we just chatted for a couple hours. And so I worked on the cuff of my sock, and it was just good for the heart to get together with friends and just sit and have a chat and a bit of a craft, and you know, kindred spirits, right? We all are kindred spirits, so we all share love of crafting in common, and it's yeah, it's just a wonderful thing. I feel very lucky. Okay, so I've got more socks to share with you, but I'll show them in a bit. Let's show you a bit of stitching. What have I been up to? Oh, I didn't show you what I worked on in the movie. I showed you what I worked on at the park, but at the movie, remember this? I shared this the last video. This is my sampler striped timber from 2023, the set of 12. Remember, I was making a cowl. Well, I brought that with me to the movie, and I only have half a round left to go before I'm finished this stripe, and then I can add the next color. So there, you can unroll that there. So I'm kind of just doing this pattern was kind of developed by the yarn dyer herself, who was Heather of Timber Yarns. And she made the original cowl, where you just knit a long tube with all of the individual mini skeins, and then you put the ends together so that it's kind of not inside out, but right side in, and then you Kitchener stitch around the entire circumference together, and then you have a double thick cowl. So that is what I am making with this. And it's totally mindless knitting. I absolutely love it. The yarn feels great, and it was the perfect movie knitting. Just round and round and round. So I did start to get close to the end of the 9th. So each stripe is 9 rows. and I was getting close, and so I kind of just stuck it on my lap for the last half hour of the movie and just enjoyed the movie. But almost ready to put on the next ball, the next color. So that's what I worked on. I haven't shared my, and this is a teeny tiny little start, but I did start it, and I haven't shared it with you yet. So Elizabeth Strickland, 1836. This is from my friend Chloe of Girl with a Gavel Stitches. Chloe was one of the UK designers that I talked about over on my other channel for the Evertote workshop. I did a series of videos on a few UK designers, and Chloe was one of them. And I have had this, I've had this on my to-do, not like have to-do list, but want to-do list for a long time. And I finally started it. And it is tiny and it is perfect. So I'm stitching this on a 40 count biscuit Roxy Flasco linen. Now don't laugh at my little start, but it is so cute. Look. I know. I know. That tone on tone. Look at how cute it is. It's so sweet. I love it. I love it. Now, obviously the fabric color is totally washing out, but you can, I want you to see a close-up of how sweet those letters are. I think this is going to be a winner. This is going to be a really sweet sampler. So, right? Can you imagine it? So obviously my linen is quite a bit lighter than this is the original clearly the original sampler on the cover. But I think I'm going to end up with a super sweet sampler. Those birds in the bottom. Yeah, I'm excited about this one. You know what I can't wait to stitch? And I love stitching alphabets. I know many of you feel the same way. And there are some people, not stitchers, and there are some stitchers who don't get it either, but especially non-stitchers who are like, why are you stitching so many alphabets? Why not? Why not? They're fun. They're just fun to stitch. But look at this. Look at this little, I've been calling him a gremlin. A little gremlin in the bottom. I'm sure it's supposed to be a lion or something like that. But look, how fun is that? So I'm excited to stitch that. And always, I mean, a good berry bowl. Can't go wrong. But that right there, that's worth the price of admission right there. I love it. I love it. Yeah. So, but it is Sampler September. So I figured, you know, we should be working on samplers during this month. So I really would like to add a few more letters to that this month. Because I was on a roll with the 28 count biscuit, I had to do it. I had to do it. Sarah Watson, 1859, from Christina Raffle of Whilst Iris Naps. It was on a wide eighth of 28 count biscuit, just like I did. It's the exact same fabric that I used for Summer Garden at Cranberry Manor. And there's just something at the moment about 28 count that is just scratching the right itch for me. I don't know what it is. You know how you just go through phases, and I just had to start it. And so Hannah had done a floss conversion for it. And look at these colors. Look at those colors. And it's a small sampler. And the original, I actually have Hannah's conversion notes here, so right there. So Christina writes about this. Sarah Watson, 1859, is stitched entirely in cross stitch, no specialty stitches, over one or back stitch. The original sampler used 24 count linen with wool. The model stitch, Christina stitched it on 36 count linen and over dyed threads. So I figured the original was probably quite a bit bigger than Christina's reproduction. So I felt that I had total creative license to do it on a 28 count fabric with 2 threads, because the original was done with wool, right? So why not? And I'm hooked. I'm hooked. Again, 28 count for the win. I couldn't put it down. This was 2 short stitching sessions, and I had to force myself to stop because I had other things that I had to go and do. But this was so fun. So that's my little start. And obviously I have to put her name in. But you see the little, see that little bit of stitching right there? That kind of orangey brown? That is the first time I've used that floss. Is called Fireside. And it's the first time it was a Holiday Countdown 2023 color, and it's the first time I've used it in anything other than my Holiday Countdown stitching last year. And it is a beautiful, beautiful orange, brown, gold color. And when I was using it, and I mean, there's only a little bit there, but it just felt like all of a sudden, oh, it's pumpkin spice season. I mean, it was weird, but it was just like, oh, this feels right. So I am loving this. I'm very particular sometimes about the things that, I don't know whether it's a brain tick or what, but if certain things are feeling just right, then everything about it is just right. The fact that the wide 8th fits in an 11 by 17 Q snap perfectly, because I hate using Q snaps when the entire design doesn't fit in the Q snap. I only use Q snaps if the entire design will fit, and that's why all of my small ones, like I did Busy Hands by Kathy Barrick, you know, it fits in an 8-inch Q snap. It's perfect. It's just perfect. I love that. It just feels right. So yeah, everything about it, love it, love it. So I'm excited to put some more stitches into that. And Sampler September, Sampler Stripe-tember. I have had 1 week of progress. So let's show you my stitching first. So we had, we put out a collaboration with Ellen, Maximum Cross Stitch. Oh dear, I have to sneeze. I can feel it. Feel it coming. Don't worry, if I do sneeze, I'll edit it out so I won't startle you. We do Evertote does a collaboration with Roxy Flossco and Ellen of Maximum Cross Stitch and Heather of Timber Yarns. And Ellen's chart, oh, I should show you last year's chart. Never miss an opportunity to toot my own horn. This was my stitching from last year. Ta-da! And I know it's got glass on it, but trust me, when it's on the wall, it's fabulous. Look at that. Oh, it's so good. So this was called September's Revenge. And this was the design for last year's Sampler September. Isn't it good? Yeah, it's so good. So you can see the yarn, Heather of Timber Yarns dyes the yarn to match the color palette of Ellen's floss pack. And I'm telling you, she nails it. Both years, she has absolutely nailed it. When I'm knitting and the next color comes up, I can see the floss color in it. And it is just, it's so fun. So this was 2023. I also knit the pair of socks, but they're at home. And they've been worn now, so I probably won't share them again. So, unless they're on my feet, and I'm showing you my feet for some odd reason, I don't know. But yeah, so that was last year's. And this year there were two designs. One of them was an original design called September's Return, and one of them was a reproduction sampler, Agnes Kerr, 1830. By the way, if you are stitching Agnes Kerr, there is an errata for it. I believe Ellen has it loaded into her website at www.maximumcrossstitch.com. It has something to do with the back stitch. The key that came in the booklet, if you purchased it like early on and we shipped it to you early on, we didn't include the errata because we didn't know about it yet. Subsequently, we've started sending out an errata key in the charts because of course they've already been printed. So we send an errata chart. But if you are missing it or you need it, feel free to send us an email. You can reach Hannah's back at school now. She's only here 3 days a week. But we also have Leah here. You can reach her at admin@evertote.ca. And yeah, so there's a little bit of a correction in there, but it's just a minor one. So Agnes Kerr. And then I'm stitching the original design that Ellen did called September's Return. Look at that. You know, I literally am sitting beside, and I know I shared these last time, but I'm gonna share them again. I'm literally, I've got the models right here. Why am I showing you the cover photo? Look at that. It's so good. You want to see Agnes Kerr again? I have it here. There, look at that. Amazing. So good. Yeah. Okay, so floss pack for September's Return. Feels like fall. Looks like fall. My stitching, nope, that's the wrong piece. That's Elizabeth Strickland. Here we go. My favorite place to start, and oh, Stuart in Stitches. Stuart in Stitches, brand new floss tuber. He's got 2 episodes out now. He's Scottish, and I know he's been a viewer for a little while. We've communicated a couple of times. He's lovely, and he's also a bottom left starter. I felt vindicated that I'd finally found another person. And if you love to start at the bottom left starters unite, because that's my absolute favorite place to start a design. Bottom left corner. Love it. So I planted some zucchini. Now, as you can see, I haven't finished filling in the zucchinis. I have to still finish that. But the zucchini hill, all the outlines are done. I just need to fill it in. And those hills are not small. They are alive with zucchini. So am I going to be able to finish this in September? I don't know. I have a busy month ahead, and I am going to give it a good old college try. But if I don't finish it, that's okay. And if you don't finish it, that's okay too. We can go into October. I mean, look. So apparently these are peppers. Peppers, zucchini, corn, apples, acorns. Oh, hay and tomatoes. Those are our vegetables. No specialty stitches. It's all full cross. And these little houses are just the cutest things ever. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come up and do the peppers to get some other color in there other than greens and browns. The floss for all of the outlining is Roxy. This is Roxy Floss Co. that Ellen designed it with. It's called Salty Place, all the outlining. And Salty Place was named by Hannah. She names the vast majority of our flosses here. So if you are in love with the Roxy Floss Co. Punny floss names, entirely her doing. She's a master at puns. And Salty Place is the name of a street in Newfoundland that's near and dear to her heart. And so it was kind of, it's a dark, dark, dark blue. And there's a line of those flosses. I think there's Caspian, Salty Place, and what's the other one? I can't remember. Off the top of my head, I can't remember, but they're fantastic. And it's such a dark, dark, dark blue. It almost looks black. So that's been, I don't know that I've used it a lot before. So I feel like I'm branching out into some of the flosses that we have here that we've had for a while that I've never really used, which has been really nice. So yeah, I'm really enjoying stitching this. It was done by my friend Ellen. I mean, what's not to like, right? Ellen came to movie night as well, and we released a new chart of hers. I'll show it to you. I am going to show this again. I'm recording a flosstube with Carrie later this week, but so I'll be showing it again then. But I'm going to show it to you now because it's just so gorgeous. Oh, and Ellen, you're pretty. You're just pretty and smart. So. She wanted me to tell you that. She said, tell them I'm pretty. So I figured I'll add the smart because we want to be pretty and smart. Look at that. It's amazing. This is M. Fayant. Beautiful French sampler. And look, I'll bring it back so you can see those blues. It's absolutely, I love it. Anyways, there's a sneak peek. More about that coming later this week. But we released it when she came for the movie night, and yeah, we had a lot of fun. It was a good time. Changed the battery out, fresh battery. I am getting to the end here. I just have my socks left to share with you. Heather dyed striped yarn to go with both Agnes Kerr as well as September's Return. I actually started one of each. I started both. So I'm not stitching Agnes Kerr, but I am knitting the sock. So here's the floss palette for Agnes Kerr. And here's the yarn. So my start, I'm still on the cuff for the first sock. And I'm going to be knitting the Mahogany Run pattern by the Crazy Sock Lady. So there's nothing different about the cuff. It's just a regular 2x2 rib. And oh, come on. Who wants to keep showing you the stitching behind me? There we go. So as you can see, I've just started the next color stripe. Love knitting socks. I am so glad that I can knit socks again. Had some tendonitis. I still have a bit of, I mean, I can still feel it in my elbow, but I'm able to knit again, which has been, I love knitting socks. Now, the other sock, the one that matches the September's Return. This sock, I don't know what it is. Well, I know what it is. This sock makes me so nostalgic. So this one came with a 30-gram midi. Minis are 20 grams, the midis are 30 grams. So you've got plenty for cuffs, heels, toes, for your socks. And I'm doing it. I'm doing cuffs and heels with the midi. And then I'm gonna do the rest of the sock, including the toe, with the stripe. So that's where I'm at. I've just started the next color on my stripe, which is the most beautiful golden rusty brown. And look at that. And so it's funny because I didn't even have to really think hard about why this sock made me nostalgic. The reason is because, to me, my very first day of school, and I'm gonna share a picture here with you of me on my very first day of school. This sock makes me think of my Sesame Street Big Bird book bag, my Mary Janes, my knee socks, my corduroy outfit, my first day of school. That is what this feels like to me. And it makes me inordinately happy. That's the only thing I can look at. I mean, look, these colors. It's the first day of school. It's my first day of school ever. And I am transported back into that little kid of hopes and dreams. That's strange. It's so weird, but it's such a nice feeling. And it's beautiful yarn. I love knitting socks. It just makes me happy. So I am really trying not to overdo it with the sock knitting, because I can get into a groove where I will knit for a couple of hours and kind of forget that I've been knitting for a couple of hours, because it's just round and round and round. It's addictive. Easy to do while you're watching television. And then I can really get into trouble with hand pain. And I want to be really careful with my elbow. So I have been taking these with me everywhere I go and just knitting a couple of rounds here and there. And you know, it's amazing the progress that you can make just a little bit here and there, 5-10 minutes at various points throughout your day. And it just feels like they're knitting themselves, and they're just making me really happy. Yeah, love it. So I think that's it. I think that's it. Yeah. What can I say? I have this also, Happy Memories. This bag was made for me by my sister-in-law, Kathy. We started Evertote together. She used to make bags with me, and she made this one for me. I think we might have even sold a couple of these as well, because she made a few, but she gifted the first one to me. It's one of my favorites. So I do have a sampler September sock bag, but because I'm keeping both in here, and well, it was there when I saw it, I'm like, ooh, I want to use that bag. And I have my other sampler September. It's a flat cross stitch bag, and I'm using that one for my cross stitch. So got both socks in there. It's a bit big for them. They kind of roll around in there because my yarn, actually that's right, my other yarn I left in my other samplers. See, I have to be careful because, you know, moving parts, things get moved around, and I have to remember where things are. So I really should put them together in the same bag, and then I won't misplace them. That's what a good crafter would do. A good organized crafter. That's never really been my strong point, but hey ho. Okay, time for me to wrap this up and get home and have dinner with my family. Tomorrow is Sunday. Those of you who are football watchers, enjoyers, many of you know that my son is a massive Ravens fan. We of course watched the Thursday night game, Baltimore Ravens versus Kansas City. And yes, we tried to stay up to midnight. Didn't make it, but that was okay. The TV was still going, and we woke up and discovered that Baltimore had lost. And so whatever, it was fun. We had fun together. So yes, football has begun again. I am not I could take it, football or leave it, take it or leave it. I grew up with a sports watching father. My father always loved to watch, still does, of course. My father watches a fair bit of football, hockey, ubiquitous Canadian hockey, loves hockey, golf, tennis, you name it. My dad loves to watch it. And I have vivid memories of being scared, like startled, to almost like, you know, that jump scare, because all of a sudden my father would, you know, cheer or clap, and he has this really loud clap when something really exciting would happen, and it would scare the bejesus out of me. So I have memories of that as a kid, right? He's an enthusiastic sports watcher. John and Nicholas are also, but they don't do that startling loud clap. It tends to be, you know, it's just different, but it's kind of the same. Do you know what I mean? It is perfect stitching, knitting television for me. I love it because I don't have to watch anything. I can just listen and I can enjoy being with them. So I don't mind football season at all. So that's been kind of nice that they're excited about that starting up again. Roxy is thoroughly 100% John's dog. John and Nicholas. She adores Nicholas. Every night, Roxy is our dog, our fairly new to us dog. We've had her for about 4 or 5 months now. She every night goes up on the couch with Nicholas and has a little snooze with him before we all go to bed. So TV watching time, she hangs out with him. And John is her person. Womp womp. And I'm trying really hard to be okay with that, but it is. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. She loves me. Don't get me wrong. She loves people in general. But she loves John. So, yeah. There you have it. I have become the walking treat lady. I'm just the lady who takes her for walks in the morning with a pocket full of treats, and I'm the lady who takes her to the vet. I'm the lady who gives her once a month flea tick heartworm medicine. But John is her person. And you know what? I guess it's about time that he had a heart dog for himself. So I'm really trying hard to be okay with it, but it's a little bit difficult. I'm not gonna lie. And I sure do miss my Luna. But there you have it. She's a beautiful dog. She's a lovely dog. And she really is transitioning beautifully into our family. She's had a very difficult past. And so watching her blossom with my boys has been special. So anyway, other than that, the kids are doing well. Nicholas is back at school. He's in grade 11 this year. Sarah is home for this weekend. She is, the contract that she's just finished, she's been working in Texas and Florida. So get this, she worked in Texas and Florida throughout the summer. Her next job is in Winnipeg. She's going to be in Winnipeg in the winter. So we had a good laugh about that. But she is, I'm going to try and maybe go out and visit her. She's able to come home on the weekends if she so chooses. So maybe I'll, I don't know, Winnipeg in the winter doesn't scare me because I'm an indoors cat. I will happily stay with her inside and knit and stitch away. But everybody's well, everybody's happy. John's headed back up to the cottage Monday, Tuesday for a few days to take care of some chores up there that need doing. Roxy will be going with him. She has turned into a complete cottage dog. The wildlife has kind of simmered down up there, so she has been able to be off lead. She loves the boat. She loves swimming, more so than any dog that we've ever had. She's even jumped in off the dock a couple of times. I'm not sure she really loved it, but she did it because everybody was swimming and she wanted to be with them. She loves swimming. She loves hunting for frogs and just playing in the water. And yeah, she's having the time of her life up there. So I won't begrudge him his dog. Don't tell. All right, that's it for me. I better go. I really should go. I could talk for another half hour. You know I could. But I will see you again. I probably will do a weekly Sampler September update because it does allow me time to have some progress and things to share with you and lots to talk about. So I'll see you in a week. I will be doing a floss tube with Carrie over on the other channel on Thursday, our regular floss tube every other weekday. She's been on vacation, so she's back now. Well, she's back on Monday. See, I tell you, I have to go. See you soon, everybody. Happy stitching. Take care.